Hello guys. So I'm gonna take a look at a question here. Um, and I should, before I look at question, I'll give some explanation with respect to dealing with certain aspects of indices. So I'll start with a simple scenario. Supposing you have 2 to the x minus 1. Now 2 to the x minus 1 can be written as 2 to the x times 2 to the minus 1, because a to the m times a to the n equal a to the m plus n. So here this is the same as saying 2 to the x plus minus 1, which is really equal to 2 to the x minus 1. Now, I want to explain this here. When you have x plus minus 1, what is this really? In front of this bracket is, it's understood that there's a 1 here. The sign in front of the 1 is plus. So it's like you're saying x plus this 1 times minus 1. It's minus 1. But this is a plus times a minus sign. So it becomes negative x minus 1. So if you have plus multiplied by a negative equal to negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. A positive times a negative is a negative. Negative times a positive is a negative. All right? Good. So that's how we get this here. Next idea. Supposing you have 4 to the 3 minus x. This 4 is the same as 2 times 2. Which means this here is the same as saying 2 to the square, which is a 4, to the 3 minus x. Right? But we know this law. A to the m to the n is equal to a to the m times n. So this here can be reduced to 2 to the 2 times 3 minus x. This is like m, this is like n, which becomes 2 to the 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, minus 2 multiplied by minus x is minus 2x. So this becomes this. Good? Okay. Clear on this idea? 4 is reduced to 2 squared, and this is 3 minus x. But this is like m, and this is like n. So you multiply m by n. That's what I did here. And 2 times 3 is 6. The same 2 now has to multiply by the x. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times minus x is minus 2x. Right? That's how we get this answer. We went from here to here. Good? Now, if you have something like 6, this is the same as 3 times 2. This is like 3 to the 1 times 2 to the 1. This is also the same as 2 to the 1 times 3 to the 1. So if you write A times B is the same as B times A. And A, B, C is the same as C, B, A. All right? Now, the reason for explaining this stuff is that we're going to look at a question here now. Right? So I'll show you the question. So here you go. This is the question. So you need to write 6 dot 2 to the x minus 1 dot 4 to the 3 minus x in, you want to write it in the format of a to the b to the x. Now the dot there simply means multiply by, right? So you can look at this, you can pause your screen, give it a shot and see what's going to be your answer. But I'll work it out for you now. All right? So let's get back to the board to solve this question. So here's the question. Now, with all that I have said just now, we can reduce this whole thing here to this 6 becomes, let's see, 2 times 3. This here, dot means multiply by, okay? So I'm just putting a dot because there's a dot, but it means multiply by here. So this is the same as 2 to the x dot 2 to the minus 1 dot 2 to the 2, that's a 4 to the 3 minus x. The 4 is reduced to 2 to the 2. And this is like m times n. So I can put this in a little bracket here. Now we can go further. 2 to the 1 times 3 to the 1 times 2 to the x times 2 to the minus 1 times 2 to the 2 into 3 minus x. Okay, so let's try to work this out now. Now, two to the 1 times 3 to the 1 times 2 to the x times 2 to the minus 1 dot 2 to the 6. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6 dot 2 to the 2 times minus x. So that's minus 2x. So we're left with this. And we need to solve this up and see what we get. Okay, so if we have 2 to the 1 times 2 to the minus 1, This is the same as 2 to the 1 plus minus 1. This is like 2 to the 0, which is 1. So here, this will go out with this. So we are left with the remainder here now, right? So we are left with 3 to the 1 dot 2 to the x dot 2 to the 6 dot 2 to the minus 2x. Clear? From here, we cancel out this and this, explain that, and we're left with this here. Now, here, we can say 3 to the 1 times 2 to the x times 2 to the minus 2x times 2 to the 6. Now, it doesn't matter if I write A, B, C, same as C, B, A. So in what order I write them here? Now, this becomes 3 to the 1 dot 2 to the, this is like 1x plus minus 2x. So it becomes minus x dot 2 to the 6. So we're left with this here now. So 3 to the 1 dot 2 to the 6 dot 2 to the minus x. Now 2 to the 6 is 64, and this is 3 times 64 times 2 to the minus x. Now this portion here is 192 dot 2 to the minus x. Now, you know, a to the minus m is the same as 1 upon a to the m. And you know, a to the m to the n is the same as a to the mn. Now, if I have 2 to the minus x, this is the same as 2 to the minus 1 times x. From this rule here, minus 1 by x is minus x. Alright? So look at this. I'm going to reduce this guy here. So I have 192 dot 2 to the minus 1 to the x. Now this here, 192 dot 1 upon 2 to the x. So this should be your solution. Now I'll just go back to the question so you see, and you can get the answer. So the answer seems to be B. So this is B. That would be the solution to this question. All right. So I think I will stop here now.